Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of Pilot 7 Tech Tuesday video. This is going to be on the 28-day flight sim periodic inspections. It builds on the previous episodes, starting with the 7-day and the 14-day. A lot of the items are repeats, so we're going to mainly touch on the one new item that we're doubling back to. My name is Chris. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start with opening up our favorite browser of your choice. I'm using Google Chrome, and go to pilot7.com. Other ways to get there. This is a quick way. In pilot7.com, scroll down, go to your knowledge base, and then click on Flight Sim Inspections. And in Flight Sim Inspections, scroll down and look for in our case, the 28-day. But make note of the other ones, because this is going to be a brief one. We're not going to get into showing any video of the flight sim, because I've already covered it, like on the things that we're doing in this 28-day. I've covered in the 7-day, actually the daily, the 7-day and 14-day. Some of these are repeats, like the daily, not the daily, but the 7-day, it gets into that. And there's actually this is a really good one, annual. It says annual. It covers every aspect of it, and I have a really good video that covers the dusting. Well, let me go ahead and open this and show you what I'm talking about. So this is the wiki on 28-day flight sim inspections. So this inspection, as with all of them, they split the load up. That one I showed you earlier, that wiki, it's everything in one. This here breaks it down to where they're in bite-sized pieces. And here you have, you see, you just have 4 bullets. You're gonna check your USB polling and for jitters. You may recall that was already covered in one of the previous ones. I think the 14-day actually covered that. And it's just going to the Microsoft one. There's some tools that you can use, but I showed you. Let me go back and show you some other things here. I want to keep this as brief as possible. So you go to your Joy in Microsoft Joy. Was it Joy CPL? I think it is Joy. Okay, yeah, that's close enough. You see what I did? I went into the start menu and just started typing Joy CPL. So this, you go through the list of your items, and you just do some random check. I'm going to go to, I showed you the throttle, and this is a good example of jitters, because it jitters, but it doesn't cause any problems. So I'm going to do the, where are you? A320 Pilot. This is a good one, because this jitters. See it jittering? And here's why it's jittering. This yoke, it actually has the capability of it's a twist yoke. Yeah, that looks like a jitter to me. I'm not touching anything. I used it momentarily while I was waiting on my new rudders to arrive, and they arrived. I disabled this, but it still jitters. I'm a firm believer in if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I don't want to load up no third-party utilities to try to get that. There are some electronic devices that can cause that. So that holds true with all of these items. There's some items that dive deeper. I present them because they exist, and but I don't use. Got a confession to make. I don't use all of them because it may cause something to break. So basically, if I'm having problems with my simulator and I'm going through that checklist and I see something that's that it sounds like what I'm encountering, I'll do it. Like this jitter is jittering, but it ain't bothering me. I don't want to put more time into chasing down a jitter that's not causing problems than actually on the simulator or doing other things. So there's some other things. See, I'm moving the hat button, and it's causing this here. I'm pulling it, I'm hitting the trigger, transmit trigger, disengage button. Microsoft recognizes all the buttons that's on the sim, and then when you plug it into X-Plane, X-Plane is talking to Microsoft and say, yeah, okay, I see that exists, and then then you go into X-Plane, and it'll allow you to configure those buttons or whatever you want. You can take any of these buttons here, like here's the throttle. Now I have a throttle. I probably should do that because now I'm going to start having throttle problems. This yoke has a built-in throttle also, but I don't use it. I have it disabled, but it's still registered. It still knows it exists. So I'm going to get out of here. So that's the USB jitter, and there's actually a video on one of the previous videos that covers that, where I'll go through the whole process. And then there's critical peripheral drivers, install and update it. And one of my previous videos, I went over how to go in, and there's Microsoft Update, and there's all your peripherals, any number of peripherals. This is the time to go through and make sure all of the drivers are up to date. I have some real sim gear stuff. I haven't updated the drivers in quite some time. Why? Because it ain't broke, so I don't try to fix it. If something is working and you add a driver, it's doing everything that you want it to do, and it's not giving you problems. And if you add a software update to it, the best that you can hope for is that it continues to work. If you install it, there's a good chance that if it's working and you make an adjustment to it, then it's going to cause some problems. So that's why I say I have all of these things on the checklist, but I don't do all of them. This is the next one here is the the peripheral. X-Plane, there's a way to go in X-Plane where you can update the drivers, and again I've covered that in another video, so I won't do that. I'm not going to go over that again. Just consult with some of the previous videos on the same subject line, and it talks about that. And same thing with your, that's why I mentioned this is going to be brief. This is where you're getting into the cleaning there, and I have that separate video that goes into details of all the methods you can use for dusting. This is where you want to get down, and because it's 28 days, whole month, sucking up dust, and the bands and the CPU band that's in your computer, and if those get clogged, just think of it as they get really hot, and if they have a coat of dust on them, think of wearing a trench coat in the summertime. And so that's or a winter coat, I mean in a summertime, a winter coat, a heavy winter coat in the summertime. That's what that CPU and other components are feeling. You get dust on your RAM chips. Those things get hot as they operate, and your cooling fan for your power supply is going to get hot, and it's going to get hotter the more dust accumulates. So there's methods that I use that I'll let you know about in my video, dusting your flight sim rig. That's on my website, or that's on my YouTube channel. Then last but not least, analog, yoke, rudder, etc. are fully calibrated. Not going to go into calibration because I have several videos on calibrating and how I get it out to calibrate. One of the ways we calibrate is where we went from the Windows level is where we went in just now, real quick to show you about the button knobs and then how it identifies it. It allows you to move the controllers around and calibrate. I do all my calibrating from X-Plane. That's my thing there. My main thing is X-Plane. So it allows you to go in there and you can calibrate. But I have several videos on calibrating yokes, calibrating a joystick, calibrating rudder pedals, and so all of those apply. And then this is a detailed breakdown. So this is the abbreviated checklist, and this actually breaks it down in detail, and it includes information that's in those other videos that I show too. I just don't want to have a bunch of duplicate videos out showing the same thing. But these steps, the video walks you through all these steps on how to do it. And so that's about all I want to cover here. And if you like the video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Now, you may have some questions and comments, and there's no one shoe fits all when it comes to preventative maintenance. I've seen it evolve over the years, even in the aircraft industry. There, some of the things they do the same way that they've done for decades because why they work. And some new technologies come along and they add to it. They add to the checklist. So if you have something to add, go ahead and leave questions, comments, and I'll be glad to address them. And your input is always welcome. And if you want to be notified of future videos, go ahead and subscribe. All of my subscribers are automatically notified when I release a new video. So thank you for tuning in. My name is Chris. You have a good day. Bye now.